Hi guys, so I'm hoping that you can see me a little bit. I am actually en route right now, and it's kind of dark. That's because it's rolling close to midnight. Well, maybe it's 11. It's right at 11 here. And I just got back from a football game. I've been up since 6 something this morning. I started studying at 7:45 this morning, and I've been studying past 12, way past. Is that right? Yeah. I've studied well over 12 hours today. So, and it's a lot. Like, what I'm doing right now, we just entered pharmacology, barely. Like, we've scratched the word pharmacology. Let me just say it that way. And so it's not like horrible, but there is a lot of information. Like, it just seems like when we start getting into a new thing, it's like, hi, brah, you know what I mean? Like, it seems so nice and friendly to begin, and then it starts showing its ugly side. So it's a little bit, I don't know, it's challenging, I guess. So, but that's good. So the endocrine system, definitely pull out your A&P notes from there. And let me just say, I'm really sorry that I haven't, taken you with me to class every single day, and that I haven't done what I had intended to do. And honest to goodness, it is literally because I don't have any time. Not because I don't have time for y'all, not that I don't have time, I just don't have time to do anything but study. And I know, like, everybody says, well, this is the easiest semester. Well, that's what our level 3 people have told us. Like, this is seriously, we would love to come back to where you are. And of course, we have lots of questions that we always ask them and stuff, and it's really nice to be able to interact with them, because sometimes they're like literally right across the hallway from us. Most of the time they're not, but sometimes they are. So that's nice. And there's been a few times, just because of COVID, that we have seen them when normally we would not have seen them. And it's just because of the pandemic that's going on and the way things are still, not fully recovered from that. So we do have access to those students. And that's nice, because they do give us pointers and kind of tips and tricks and, this, that, and the other. And so they're in the process of totally revamping our program. And so it's just kind of a weird, hairy time with that going on, plus COVID going on, and just, the whole everything. So, and then we're off schedule because we didn't start when we normally would have began this program. It would have been during a summer session. So that got pushed to fall because of the pandemic. So things are a little crazy. Like some of our due dates, because obviously they had their program set up, and then they had to change everything because of everything that's going on. Anyway, so let me just jump back where I was going. So I really apologize for number one, you not being able to see me right now, and it's just because it's dark outside. But I really apologize for the fact that you guys, I haven't followed through with hey, I'm going to go take you to class every day and all of that. So it's really, I don't have time to stop and think about anything else. I'm literally breathing, eating, and sleeping nursing school, because I want to be successful. And I know, hey, everybody says, hey, C's to get degrees, and yeah, maybe they do. And if you need, okay, so here's my take on that. That's totally fine if you are really applying yourself and trying. Like if you know, but if you're just kind of not even really too concerned about the fact that you're gonna literally have somebody's life in your hands, and if you screw up, that you could take that life, like I take that very seriously. So like if I get a C and I have literally tried my hardest, then okay. Then that's okay. Because it's just, to me, a different level of thinking, I guess. If I know I've really tried and I still have that knowledge from where I'm trying, you know, maybe I wasn't a good test taker and that's why I made a C. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe I messed up on one of the quizzes, but I just kind of like put the information in wrong, you know, did the whole electronic thing wrong or whatever. But not because I don't know or haven't practiced or studied the material, you know, not for that reason. So, because listen, that's what we're going to be doing. We're literally going to have people's lives in our hands. And if we make one medication error and it is just like a decimal point off or whatever, like you could actually kill a patient. So it's just not worth it to not give it everything you have because lives are at stake. So anyway, that's just kind of, sometimes I cringe when people say that, C's get degrees, but I understand the mentality because it's like, nursing school is hard. I mean, it's not like a piece of cake. I mean, there's a reason why they call that profession, you know, they put them up there in a level of heroism, you know, like when you have to go through years worth of school to be able to do what you do, I mean, there's something to be commended for that. So, and when you're able to like save someone's life, if they're bleeding or if they're choking or if they're, you know, whatever the situation might be, and you're able to step up and say, hey, I can help out with this, you know, I can literally save your life right now. It's a pretty good feeling. So, and it's a very important, you know, part. You know, I mean, you have a very important role in society. So anyway, I'm going to jump off of here because I'm kind of rambling and I don't want to do that. And it's late and who knows where my brain is. Like literally right now, my brain is stuck in classifications of drugs, drug classifications. Anyway, that's the easy part. So that's where I'm at right now. Yay. It is just been a lot of information is all I can say. It's been a lot of information. And sometimes I feel like I'm just in a whirlwind. And just as sometimes the whirlwind will just knock me over flat on my face. And then as I'm picking myself up and brushing myself off, and I finally get to where I'm standing up again, and I feel like, okay, I got this. You know, and that wasn't so bad. And, you know, oh, okay, yeah, that's what it is. You know, like you kind of get used to the information and you're feeling good again. And then boom, here comes another one. So, but that's okay because it is, I do think it's to where you are actually able to stand up and kind of get yourself back together before you take on your next, beast, if you will. So before you go enter your next big fight. Anyway, it's pretty good. Overall, it is requiring a whole lot of my time, which I didn't expect anything less. But I am a little shocked that I'm struggling to keep up with my method of how I study. Because there's a certain set of things that I do so that I can continue to keep the grade that I want. And right now, I actually have, I'm like 89 point whatever, but y'all know that it's 90 to take an A. Some of the classes I think are, well, that may not be right now. 92. Anyway, the 90 right now is an A for me. So, I have 2 A's, but then I am like 89 point whatever, and they won't round up. So, like, I have to get another point. I have to get 1 more percentage point before I can get my other 2 classes up. And so that kind of has stressed me out, just because, like, I don't want that. I want to have not the A because that's what it is. I want to have it because I feel like I know the information well enough to have it. But here's the thing, like, I'm not a good test taker. So some of the mistakes I've made on the test are just like, I know my instructors and look at me like, you're an idiot. So, and I don't blame them, because, like, I'll look back and sometimes I just get so involved in the test itself or in the material itself. Like, okay, this has been a while back, but I caught myself. So I've told you guys that I have plenty of children. And so they were talking about aspirin and Reye's syndrome. And of course, everybody that's ever been a parent pretty much knows that, pretty much. And I knew, like, if I would have just pulled myself out of a nursing world and I would have just been like, oh, well, yeah, duh. You know, everybody knows that. But I caught myself, like, trying to just be in study mode. And I was trying to take the notes and I wasn't sure about what the teacher had said. And so I actually, in front of the whole class, asked the question, did you say that was for up to 15 months old or 15 years old? And I mean, as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, oh, they for sure think you're an idiot now. Because it just took me a second for it to hit me that that's what I was asking. Because I was so focused on, you know, this thing and this age group and whatever. And it hit me that that's a common sense thing, but I was just so stuck in that information and that part of the chapter and that moment that I was afraid I had missed something. So she's talking, I'm trying to write, and then I thought I missed it, so I asked it out loud in front of the whole class. Yeah, I've tried to start just refraining from asking questions for that reason. Because I do get so deeply involved, and there are some answers to questions that if I would have just, like, pulled myself out of this whole nursing thing and just kind of looked at it from where I was even before I knew anything about nursing, I'd be like, oh, well, that's the answer. I mean, it's kind of an obvious thing, but sometimes I just get so involved in the process and the information and, like, trying to absorb things that I forget. I don't know. I forget some of the common sense stuff that I know. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here because it is close to midnight. Well, it's 11, whatever. What time is it actually? Maybe it's just now 11. Maybe my clock in my car is wrong. I don't know. It's not digital, I'll say that. And I'm starting to feel silly. So, yeah, it's great. You guys are going to love it. I will tell you this beyond a shadow of a doubt. Number one, the first month in, if you're like, I'm not sure if this is really what I want to do or not, you will for sure know beyond a shadow of a doubt by month 2 if that is what you actually want to do or not. No bones about it. So either you'll be like, yeah, this is what I want, and yeah, it's gonna be hard, but yeah, this is really what I want to do. Or you're gonna be like, I didn't sign up for all this work. I don't know. I don't know what you'll be like. Anyway, endocrine system. One thing I've done, because I told you guys that I am studying, like, from the time I get up to the time I go to bed, like, literally, if there is an Anki or a Quizlet, or, like, if I'm in the bathroom if I'm in the shower, I'm listening to something on my phone. Or if I'm in my car, if I'm in the bathroom doing whatever, hair, because, oh my gosh, it takes a while to put this sucker in a bun. Because no hair can be out of place. No wispies, nothing. You got to shellac that stuff down. So all that time, either reviewing class, re-listening to lectures, or, you know, a lot of times I will record myself either reading the material or focusing in on some stuff that I feel like I haven't got honed down completely, like I just don't know it like I think I should. So that's a great way too. Just go listen to yourself. Although, listen, I did that the other day. Literally took a quiz. I knew every single answer, frontwards and backwards and all the way around. I still missed one because I don't know what I did. I just got in there and I freaked out because it was test mode time. And so I tripped myself up and I was like, oh no, is this? And I had said the answers and the questions probably 40 times. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I know that I really do have a serious issue with test anxiety. And I have to just learn to calm down, because it's not going to be worth it in the end if I don't make it, because I can't calm myself down enough to be able to get through these tests. Because, like, we're starting to test. We usually have a quiz or a test. We have something due every single day. No joke. We have quizzes for sure on Monday and Wednesday. And we have either quiz or homework or test or some sort of discussion that we have to post. Something. We have something that we have to do every single day. So, you know, I need to really be over this. And maybe they do that just to try to help you get over, because it's ridiculous. The anxiety is ridiculous about test taking. I don't know. Anyway, I said I was going to get off here, and I'm not getting off here. And there was one more thing I wanted to tell you. But yeah, I just have, like, you're going to live, eat, breathe, everything nursing school. Unless you're just super talented and smart, then you might not have to do that. That's what I'm doing, because that's what it takes for me personally. Some of you guys might not have to do that, and that's great. Then you shouldn't be listening to my video. Go find somebody else's. But yeah, no, it's good. You guys are going to do great. Terminology as always. Oh, Lord, terminology. I got that quiz coming up Tuesday. It's like 95 terms. 92 terms, 93 terms, something. It's just shy of 100. It's not that big of a deal, but I don't know, man. I just wish I would have known all of the words before I went in. I even had the book. Like, I had the book to study. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Anyway, you guys have a good evening. I'm definitely get off here now. What am I at? I'm like, yeah, 18 minutes. This is ridiculous. Okay. You guys, if you have any questions, post them below. I don't know when I'll get around to them, but I promise I will. And kudos to those of you that just got into your programs. The only advice I have for you, honestly, is to brush up on your A&P. If you're not a CNA already, go do that. And terminology. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Know what kind of study skills you have. Know what kind of study, what your habits are, how you learn best, what kind of learner you are. That's what you need to know. So, and really take the time to learn that, because it's going to benefit you. Once you get in there too, they'll like, so the way I studied in A&P was one specific way, and that like really set me up for success here. But I do it completely different in nursing school. And I think it's just easier, honestly, just because all of the stuff does go together. But like the book, like I use all the resources for the book. the online companion thing. I use the study guide, all of the resources that are suggested inside of the book that they suggest for you. I use them, and they do help. And then I do every single thing, like the review questions, end of chapter, practice test, whatever. I do all of that because that's the only way I'm going to know that if I have the information down or not. And it's helping me because I do have A's. I have 2 almost A's, but whatever. You know, math's really not my strong point. I'm just going to say that. So yeah, I'm like so excited that I even have a B in that class. Anyway, and some of the equations, like, it's really not as bad as you think. Sometimes it gets a little hairy, but it's really not as bad as I even thought it was going to be. So, a word of encouragement for those of you that struggle with math. You'll make it. I promise. Like, sometimes I'll forget the most basic thing. If you really want to get ahead in the math game on that, know your conversions. Like milligrams to milliliters, grams to kilograms, milliliters to liters. The metric system, just know that. And you'll be pretty good. You do actually, well, we have to. You do have to actually have that memorized. You can't have a little card with you or anything like that. Now, maybe when you get in the real world, you can, but for your NCLEX world, that will not be provided for you. You have to have that right up here. So, anyway, I'm going to get off here. I'm tired, and I've been sitting in this parking lot